Hey guys, this is Top Jimmy 33. Welcome back to episode 2 of Modding for Arena, where we're taking a look at Chocolate Play's collection. The first thing we're going to do is, now that we have his tunes loaded up into the simulator, we're going to be modding the right side of the mod panel first. The reason I like to start at the right side is they're the rarer mods. The frequency of the drops of the arrow right here, the triangle, and the cross. These are actually harder mods to get. They drop a little less frequency than the mods on the left-hand side. Plus, there's a greater variety in the primary stats you can get on them. So it's much harder to find an ideal mod for your character on the right-hand side of the mod panel compared to the left-hand side. So I usually just go down the right-hand side first. And the very first mod I usually look at is the arrow. Now, pretty much, if you do look at Crouching Rancor, the vast majority of the characters, they recommend a speed arrow. And actually, for all 5 of these characters, on Crouching Rancor, they recommend a speed primary on the arrow. Now, we can see that Chalk actually has 5 speed arrows in his collection that are above 3 dots, so 4 or 5 dot mods. And we're actually, because his tanks are a little undergeared, what we're actually going to be doing is not utilizing speed on every single one of his characters. This is a situation where when we do get to his General Kenobi and his bays, I'm actually going to recommend a protection on the arrow instead of speed. But for his 3 offensive threats, Han, Thrawn, and Darth Nihilus, we're going to go for a speed arrow. So for Chalk's arrows, what we're going to do is we're going to sort them by rating. And his 3 greatest rated plus 30 speed arrows we're going to utilize on our characters for Arena. And notice here he already has one on Han Solo. All right, so no need to change that. It does have some offense on it. So we'll put that for number 1 for Han. He also has a speed arrow on Thrawn, so that's awesome. Thrawn is number 2. And then we'll also utilize this speed arrow here, has a little bit of defense and protection. We'll put that on Darth Nihilus. Darth Nihilus is also looking for a little potency, so we'll put that on number 3. All right, and now what we'll do is, we have the option of utilizing these for Arena, but what we're actually going to do is look at protection for our 2 tanks. And if you see, Chalk has a decent selection of health mods that have protection as its primary stat. So what we're going to do is we'll also try to see if we can pick up just a little added speed as a secondary bonus. There we go. And it looks like we have 2 arrows that also have a little bit of speed on them. So what we'll do is we'll equip these 2 arrows on his tanks. The speedier of the 2 tanks, it's good to have General Kenobi. General Kenobi has a couple of really awesome abilities, and you want bays a little bit slower so his auto taunt doesn't fall off as quickly in the beginning, and you kind of give the opponent an opportunity to buff their team up. A lot of times what you'll see is R2 will give everyone stealth, and then you might see Han buff all of the opponents as well, and then you might even see an opposing GK give everyone retribution. What's nice is then Baze goes at the end of the turn and can clean off all of those buffs. So I generally have Baze as my slowest of my 5 characters. So what I'll do is I'll put this protection arrow on GK, who is number 4, and then we'll go with this protection arrow for number 5, which will be Baze. Again, you can put speed on these characters, but I'm recommending protection because he is a little bit undergeared, so you definitely want that extra survivability on your tanks. All right, guys, so now that we've covered the arrow, the next slot we're going to go to is the triangle. And if you take a look, the very first character, Han Solo, a very, very hard-hitting character, we're going to want to try to find a really nice critical damage triangle for him. If you can get a critical damage triangle on him, he really, really hits very hard. He's capable of one-shotting tunes, especially with the Zeta, which Chalk has. So it's an amazing, amazing buff to his damage if we can get that triangle. And it looks like Chalk does have, he owns 4 critical damage triangles in his set. One of them isn't leveled up yet. But he does have 2 that are fully leveled. And if you notice, he had this 15 speed critical damage triangle, and he had it on Han Solo. Totally agree with that. So we're going to make sure that that goes on to his Han Solo, which is going to be number 1. Now, the only bummer is we're not going to be able to pick up the set bonus, so we're going to only have probably 2 set bonuses on Han when he's finished. The next characters, Thrawn, Darth Nihilus, GK, and Baze, we're going to go for protection on all of those triangles. Again, we want to keep those characters alive. They're deadly characters, but again, Chalk's team is a little undergeared, so we definitely want as much survivability as we can get. So for protection, it looks like we have some really good 5-dot protection mods. So we're going to consider those. And first thing we'll do is we'll see if we have some nice speed on them. Let's see, speed. We do have a couple nice speed ones. We have a 10 speed and an 11 speed protection triangle. So I'm going to recommend you want your speediest guy to be Thrawn. Thrawn's awesome because right off the bat you can fracture a high profile character on the opposing team. And then you can also do your turn meter swap more frequently as well throughout the course of the battle. So you definitely want your Thrawn going fast. So we're going to actually put this 11 speed mod on Thrawn, who's actually going to be number 2. And then we also want our Darth Nihilus going relatively quickly. Darth Nihilus is great because he has that Dispel on his basic. You have to be careful about using his AoE, but if you use it strategically, it's absolutely great. So we want him going as frequently, as well. This is actually a critical chance mod. We're not going to want those on our tanks. They're really not going to make that much of an impact because they don't hit very hard. So having it on Nihilus will be fine. Again, we're not going to be able to pick up the ideal set bonuses for many of these characters. All right. And now for the next couple of guys, our tanks. We definitely still want to utilize these mods here, protection, and then we can give them a little bit of speed as well. So we'll go with the speediest one for Kenobi, which is going to be number 4. And then we'll go for this one here. It's a little more highly rated than this one. However, no, this one does have some protection. Oh, never mind. It's only a 16% one, so we're not going to use that. So we're going to go here for Baze. Okay. And again, guys, once you get into these mods here that are kind of mediocre, in all honesty, a lot of these stats are just very, you're not going to see much of a difference at all. You're really looking for the set and you're looking for the primary stat. The secondary stats are very, very low. They're not going to make much of an impact. So don't kill yourself, hemming and hawing over which one you're going to put on each character there. All right, so guys, that concludes the triangle. All right, so the very last mod we're going to take a look at on this side of the mod grid is going to be the cross. All right, so guys, we're going to be looking at the cross here. And the cross, if we went back to Crouching Rancor, what it's going to ask us to do is to try to get some potency for Han Solo, so we can land that stun and the turn meter reduction. And so if we take a look, there's some decent mods here. Oops, sorry, potency we want as the primary. And we have two choices. And this one is from the Critical Chance set, which is nice. It doesn't have any speed on it, which is unfortunate. But what we'll do is we'll put that on Han right now, and then if we want to reevaluate that choice, we can, because it does lack speed, but it does have, landing that stun in PvP would really make up for it. So that's for potency. All the other characters, we're looking for that protection on the cross for that survivability. So let's take a look at protection, and if we have any speed for protection, we do. We have a couple of decent speed mods. The 13.1 is very nice. Let's just check out overall rating on all of them. Okay, there's a couple other ones that are pretty decent here as well. All right, let's go for speed. All right, so speed, we're going to put our 13 speed cross. We're actually going to put that on our boy Thrawn. Get him to go quickly. All right. And then let's see here, our 7 speed, we'll go right down the line and we'll put that on our Darth Nihilus. And then we'll do our 4 speed for Kenobi. And we'll go for our, 3 speed. It's low rated. Honestly, let's look at our overall quality again. All right, we have a couple of highly rated mods here that we could probably use for Baze. Baze, this one, it's got some crit chance on it. All right, yeah, let's go with that one for number 5. All right, guys, so that concludes the crosses. In my next video, we're going to be going down the left-hand side of the mods. And, those are the more common ones, but we'll try to be picking up sets along the way. We don't have as much choices for the primary stats there. So we'll look to try to pick up set bonuses and some secondary speed. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Tune in for my next video.